already. Spirit versus Caeltos, very nice replay. Also, I think replay of the week on Game Replays or replay of the month. I'm not sure. Um, but it has really interesting gameplay from Spirit in it, and the recording on Livestream messed up, so I will do it again. Um, of course, I know what's going to happen. I will still try to sound as excited as ever. So here we go. We are on Siwal Frontier. We have Spirit as Tech Marine versus Caeltos as Plague Marine. Both commanders able to employ turrets, as you all know. And that is part of what is going to happen in this replay. Anyways, we have Spirit going straight for both power nodes, so he really wants to go power heavy right off the bat, but those scouts are immediately forced off by the Plague Champion. Tech support moving in rather slow as they're not as fast as scouts, and they go for the wreck point first, so Spirit changing his plans. Also, he spots those seas and pulls his scouts back. He does not want to take any unnecessary losses. Already noting the power node. And yeah, Tech Marine simply engaging those CSM who are out of cover. Try to get into melee as they will win there against the Tech Marine. Tax, not sure if they're going to move up to support, but the Tech Marine is dangerously low on health. Plague Marine, meanwhile, has been capping bottom. We do see some heretics up here simply capping, and very nice use of warship by Caeltos right there, keeping those tags in the fight, especially in combination with heavy cover. Chaos tags can be really hard to dislodge for enemies of the Plague Champion. Anyways, that Tech Marine is really low on health. Spirit will need to retreat it any second now. And there we go, there's the retreat, just in time to not lose him. 26 hit points, 1 or 2 more hits and he would have gone down. Chaos tags now versus regular tacticals, and there's the Plague Marine right at the power. And we do see that Caeltos actually has the resources to go for a turret. All of Spirit's forces currently in retreat, and Caeltos will use the opportunity to place a turret. Moving back with his commander a little more, and there comes the turret. And you can see from the firing arc, very nice placement, covering the entire power node and the other top approach path. Spirit knows what's coming, more or less, since the Plague Champion suddenly pulled back from gen bashing, and there's the turret. In case you didn't know it, the Chaos heavy bolted turret has a wider firing arc than any other turret. I can quite literally see it. It's really huge. I believe it's 120 degrees instead of 90 like every other turret. So really quite of an advantage the Chaos turret has there. Yeah, enabling that clever placement of locking down both the node and the only easy approach path Spirit has at this point. If Caeltos locks down this portion of the map with units, he would be able to really completely lock down Spirit's power. And there we go, Spirit not able to do anything. And Caeltos very nice use of that firing arc, pulling back every time into the firing arc and keeping those tags in the fight despite the fact that they're already down to 350 hit points. There comes some heretics. They will most likely lend support in the form of warship, enabling those tags to stay on the map rather than be back at base with the need to heal. It's a really good start for Caeltos. Getting all these generators, huge setback for Spirit, especially since he goes for Assault Marines. Assault Marines really powerful unit against Chaos, and basically Caeltos does the right thing, denying his enemy his natural power, taking care of the rest of the map with his units. Really boxes your enemy into tier 1. He has those Assault Marines on the field. He has no more power income, which means he will be stuck in tier 1 for quite some time. Caeltos can capitalize on that and reduce the impact that Assault Marines will have on his units by going tier 2 faster, simply. And we do see Havocs on the field, and as I said, they're positioned to lock down the last approach path Spirit has for that power point. Caeltos is for the turret. Caeltos is now decapping the power node, so Spirit will be completely left without power unless, and this is the huge trick he does, he captures Caeltos power. Usually it's sort of a mixed move because most of the time you can't hold it, but Spirit will really pour a lot of resources into holding that power point and actually enabling him to gain power from it, and not simply deny his opponent power, but really gain the power himself. It's quite an interesting move, and especially it keeps him in the game despite being so far on the back foot from losing his power right off the bat. He decapped it for now. Very nice grenade on those Havocs, actually killing the first main gunner. We do see Spirit going for Devastators right now, simply to help him lock down that point. Scouts, very dangerous move. They try to finish the decap. They will succeed. They pay with it with 1 or 2 members, I believe. There's the Assault Marines, and Caeltos needs to be really lucky to get those Assault Marines out of the way. Seems like he is lucky. 80 hit points left. Devastators for Spirit on the field, and he has that power noded, which means Caeltos needs to draw forces in to capture his power back, because right now it's producing entirely for Spirit, and position sort of reversed. Caeltos has no more power income. Well, he does have those 2 noded power points, as you can see, but still, compared to that plus 39 a full gen farm offers, it's nothing. And Spirit also used the opportunity to go in and bash the turret as Tech Marine with the Mastercrafted Boulder, taking pot shots at the turret. There goes the node down. Yeah, Spirit replaces it before Caeltos can actually capture it. And yeah, it's actually a little secret, but if the node is destroyed before it's finished, it will refund resources. So destroying it actually counts as cancel. So if you destroy it repeatedly, you will get back the resources unless it's finished building, which those heretics are simply too slow to destroy, so Spirit will not be able to get any resources back. But in case you wondered why some players do repeatedly replace the node, that's one of the reasons. Turret goes down finally, so Spirit has some breathing room to recapture his power node. Those tags very low on health. They simply bought some time, even killed a Chaos tag member, but they also lose a member themselves, so they're sort of on equal footing again. Meanwhile, Caeltos is already going tier 2. Spirit is only at 93 power right now. Finally lost the race to rebuild that power node to those heretics, but there come Assault Marines, and they really want to defend the node. Spirit didn't want Caeltos to have his power back. He keeps those Assault Marines around until he can afford to reinforce the point, to get some more units in, to capture it again. Pulling in those Devastators simply to force away those heretics. That's quite successful. Now the Plague Champion is on his own down there, trying to capture it, and he won't succeed, I believe. Caeltos, more or less out of desperation or lack of generators, places one down here, which Spirit is free to bash right now. Those Devastators do something quite stupid in that they move into melee range. Still manage to set up, but there's the heretics, they engage them right now. And those Assault Marines, really dangerous move by Spirit, decapping the point, now jumping away. So yeah, he really does not want Caeltos to have any power from that node, and I thought it was quite a funny move and quite good strategy by him to try and stay in the game. Devastators go down to CSM, and Touch of Nurgle is used, so those Assault Marines die as well. So Spirit even more in a bad position right now, losing those 2 very critical squads, those 2 very expensive squads, and he's still in tier 1. So usually for 90% of the players or engagements, this game would have been over by a long shot. Heretics, very nice grenade placed on them, completely obliterates them. What I was about to say, most players would have already lost after losing their gen farm initially, because they might have been able to destroy the enemy gen farm as well, but no, not really. Anyway, Spirit is replacing the Assault Marine, so he's staying in Tier 1 even longer, and now he reverses the situation by building a turret of his own right in front of Caeltos' base. You might have noticed Caeltos was queuing up a Blood Crusher and now went for Bloodletters rather, teleporting right on top of those tags. Not sure if they will get some model kills, doesn't look like it. Spirit captured the last generator of Caeltos as well. Meanwhile, VP-wise, Spirit is slightly on the back foot, especially since the bottom VP is locked down by that Heavy Bolter Devastator. But that turret at top actually killing the Plague Champion. But it's sort of either bugged out or is not really properly placed, or simply too much terrain / cover in the way, since it couldn't fire at those tags. And now the Bloodletters are onto it. Spirit tries his best to try and defend that turret, and excellent timing by Caeltos right there, popping Touch of Nurgle just as the grenade hits those Bloodletters, saving them from being wiped, because they were quite low on health. I think that grenade might have killed them if not for the Touch of Nurgle healing them. So there's another Assault Marine squad, and with Bloodletters now on the field, it's not looking as good anymore. We still have those Havocs at bottom, and Spirit is completely ignoring bottom, so Caeltos is basically without this squad. They're not contributing in any way, they're simply locking down bottom. Assault Marines already used their jump, and they're now engaged by those Bloodletters. They will take quite a lot of damage because they're not retreating. Spirit, as I said right at the beginning, he was really content on holding down Caeltos' power and really keeping it locked down for himself. And there comes another node, and Caeltos still hasn't been able to actually retake and regain control of that power node. I tuned back up just in time to see that excellent grenade on the Heretics again. They won't be able to stay on the field for long. Any kind of focused fire will bring them down. Bloodletters also very squishy unit when you don't support them. And yeah, there comes another node up. Spirit really spending quite a lot of wreck onto those nodes. Quite funny, he's already at 476 zeal and he just hit tier 2. I almost thought he would save up for tier 3 simply to orbital his enemies, simply to, you know, piss him off even more. Because I can imagine how much curses Caeltos was throwing at Spirit for stealing his power like that. And there comes another node. Spirit really just trying to be mean right there, keeping that power and completely locking it off Caeltos. Caeltos has no generators right now. None. He lost that one at bottom. Top is getting decapped right now. Spirit is having 2 VPs at this point. And yeah, really awesome play by Spirit, keeping that power node at all costs. I can't agree with what he did with his first Assault Marine squads, losing them the way he did, but I guess he wanted them to retreat, but they didn't, or something like that. Another Touch of Nurgle used on the Heretics, and they actually, I don't know if it was a Doom Blast or if simply a member was killed, but they exploded slightly too early. Very nice grenade onto those Bloodletters. If you watch Spirit play regularly, he's really good with grenades. I would tend to say he's one of the best players in terms of grenade usage. Assault Marines jump away, lose a member in flight to the Doom Blast of the Heretics. Caeltos finally able to retake his power farm. Chaos Space Marines upgrading to Mark of Tzeentch before retreating. But I think Spirit still spotted it. He's now working on retaking that node yet again. And yeah, Havoc's off Spirit, still at bottom. High powered shot does practically nothing to Bloodletters. The main utility of this ability is that it suppresses units. Bloodletters can't be suppressed, so it's quite a bit useless. Really hard to engage Caeltos while he's in his base. Base healing and Heretic Worship sort of stack, and so it's really hard to take out units. We have marked target on the Bloodletters, but unfortunately Spirit is already in full retreat. He could have been able to do quite a lot more damage to those. Caeltos still holding his power farm, but while all of this happens, Spirit has been able to capture the entirety of the map, and he's at 580 zeal at this point. He hasn't rebuilt his own gen farm because he simply had Caeltos generator farm for so long. It has been produced more. It has produced more power for Spirit than it has for Caeltos. Really ballsy move by Spirit, actually trying to keep the enemy's gen farm. I mean, in some games you simply capture it and node it to buy some time when you know you don't have time to actually properly bash it. But a move like this, completely stealing it and having it produce power for yourself for mostly the entirety of the game, really rarely seen, I believe. Bloodletter's forced off by the use of marked target again. Havoc's still in the bottom building. They still haven't moved out at all. And Spirit's army is simply... beautiful grenade. Again, look at that. Taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heretics. Yeah, only the aspiring champion survived that grenade. And it's simply beautiful watching some of his grenades. And anyways, as you can most likely see, Caeltos has quite a unit advantage right now. He went for a second CSM squad. I would say that it will be upgraded with the Mark of Khorne. There's the turret, and if he mark targets those, yeah, there we go, and those Bloodletters will take terrible damage from these assault marines, especially since they were knocked back, and there goes the entire squad. Caeltos losing his Bloodletters, but Spirit dangerously low on VPs. Caeltos simply, with the amount of units he has on the field, is able to capture more VPs. And Spirit now desperate to get some VPs. He actually managed to decap the power farm again. And Assault Marines capture center VP, Scouts go straight to top. The Havoc is still locking down bottom. I think that's what is a real trouble for Spirit as well. Because yeah, he couldn't take the VP all game, and that gave Caeltos some kind of security. Simply to capture some. We do have a drop pod being used right now. Reinforcing those assault marines, also nice use, and actually a use for this ton of zeal Spirit has. He's still at 560 despite just calling down a drop pod. Yeah, Heretics not capturing top, button misclick, I guess. They were most likely supposed to capture it. Heretics with Touch of Nurgle again at bottom, killing the assault marines. And yeah, this is most definitely over for Spirit. He's down to 7 VPs, and Caeltos simply has such a huge army at this point. Those tags are going down. I would suspect a GG coming up very soon, but Spirit is still going tier 3. I think at this point he might have simply tried to get the orbital out, sort of as a finisher. Now he's suiciding his scouts and his commanders, so everything's dead. Only has that turret left as his only unit. He's still going tier 3. and he says GG and concedes. Unfortunately, no orbital. So I would have liked to actually see that simply um, as some game finisher, just some flashy FX. Anyways, on to the stats. Yeah, Spirit reminded me that I have a second game of Spirit versus Caeltos. They fought 2 games that day, or 3, can't quite remember. I think it was 2. It was another show match. Anyways, we have commander scores. Both commanders going down once, both commanders going to level 6. Identical commander score. Unit score actually quite terrible for Spirit. Caeltos killed quite a lot of valuable units. But yeah, scored. It doesn't really make sense to me. Spirit has positive stats but a low score. Caeltos has negative stats but a high score. I think units reinforced really boosts your score simply since it's a sign that you kept squads alive instead of rebuilding them. Anyways, we do see on the resource screen what I was talking about in-game. Spirit actually managed to get more power in this game than Caeltos, despite the fact that he never rebuilt his gen farm his own. Yeah, I thought it was quite a genius move by Spirit. Unfortunately, he still lost, but he still managed to turn a game that was looking like it was going to be lost immediately. He turned that into a 20-minute game and actually gave quite a good fight. But I think, yeah, losing that first Assault Marine squad really already decided it for him, sort of. But still, very nice strategy, I think, and very cool move by Spirit, and definitely deserves a special spot in the Hall of Fame, maybe. I'm not sure, but definitely deserves to be cast, I think. Anyways, I will load up game 2. I will actually stay alive. I'm just asking Blue to cut the recording and set it back live once I have my full screen stuff on. And yeah, I will do that right now. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm planning to do, Bluefield. So, let's look through my tremendous amounts of replays. We have Caeltos versus Spirit 1.